And now we go to our feature story. You've heard of 50 Shades of Grey. Of course, everybody has. But how about over 60 Shades of Grey? Joining me right now are two women who wrote the book to help people navigate through life's later years. Authors Barbara Paskoff and also Peck. Welcome, ladies. This is a great subject. It affects a lot of people, obviously, right?
60 million of them.
60 million of them, right?
This is true.
But you're going to help.
Yes, and it's amazing how many people are getting older. The demographic for over 60 is growing faster than the demographic for under the age of 15.
That's true.
There's so many of us.
But your book's got a lot of great advice, so stay here. Don't go anywhere, because right now we're going to go to Linda Schmidt, who shows us how these ladies are making 60 the new 30. Here it is.
And 1, and 3.
At 73 years old, Barbara Paskoff has her dancing shoes on.
3 and 4, 1.
She and her longtime friend, Peck, both from Long Island, want you to know you are still relevant after 60.
So you noticed after you hit age 60 that there really wasn't anything out there addressing people over the age of 60.
I have to tell you, I noticed it after 55. It started really then. You feel dismissed. You feel invisible.
So the two have written Over 60 Shades of Grey. It is a guide to help people with their life's journey after 60, including physical changes, health, finances.
We address everything that another person might be embarrassed to ask.
And you think you're suffering from this all alone, and you know, you're embarrassed by it. Don't be, because a whole lot of people are going through the same thing.
And your brain is still working.
Since I retired, I taught myself how to do InDesign to lay out a book, how to do Photoshop so I could create covers, and how to do PowerPoint so we can do a presentation about Over 60 Shades of Grey.
They tackle a lot of the issues with humor and funny, real-life stories.
Who better than an old broad to write about aging?
You are far from old, Barbara. Far from old. Linda Schmidt, Fox 5 News.
Oh, thank you very much, Linda. And Barbara and Carol are here today. What a great story. You know, you guys have been friends for a long time, I know. You go way back, I know.
Yeah.
But you had fun writing this book. What do you think of that expression, age is just a number?
Age is a number,
Yeah.
but I hate the expression.
You don't like it? Why?
No, not
Why?
at all, because I think it's an excuse for people not to come to terms with the fact that they're getting older. And we're getting older.
Yes, we are.
And I think if you address it and acknowledge it, then it might open the door for you to take on more challenges and not be afraid.
So basically we're talking about dealing with reality here, right? I mean, bring it home and say, okay, this is what it is. I'm going to deal with it, and I'm going to have some fun, right?
Exactly. We want people to feel comfortable in their skin.
Yes.
And we want them
No
not
matter
to,
how much there is of it.
That's true.
and we want them not to be embarrassed by the many changes that occur.
Right.
So we wrote the book so that people will realize they're not suffering through changes alone. We're all going through it. Own it and accept it.
Right. And you know, Barbara, when you talk about this thing, I mean, it's like people feel that, okay, I want to live in the future, or in the present and in the future, and not go into the past. Because, you know, there are some old issues there that everybody has. And you're saying use your 5 senses, come alive.
What?
Come alive. What's that all about?
That's one of them.
Right?
That's true, but I think Carol can really address that a little bit more articulately than me.
Especially the one on hearing. I went through hearing loss and I didn't realize what was going on. I thought it was the cell phone. Oh, these cell phones are so bad you can't hear well on them. And then I thought it was the rock music from when I was younger. And I thought people mumbled. I thought television shows spoke too fast.
Sure.
And then I realized, oh no, you're losing your hearing.
Right, so you did something about it.
I did.
Yeah, of course, and it makes a big difference in your life. Now I'm going to ask you, because I know that you have an interesting topic. I mean, you make fun of this stuff, which is great, and you're talking about make a date. Make a date, and a very important date, right? Tell us about that.
Let's talk about funerals.
Okay.
And if you don't want to talk about funerals, because it is scary, you still need to save the date. So When we think about our funerals, we get scared, we get upset.
Of course.
I am saying take control. This is a way for you to take control and put a positive spin on something that could be negative.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Write up a guest list. Pre-plan your funeral. Tell them what you want to wear.
Okay, so you're talking about celebrating life, right? That's the important thing, right?
That's it, entirely. You have to enjoy the time you have left. 100 years ago, the average lifespan for a man was 49 years old. And now, look at us. We're over 60. It's a great age.
Yep.
We've got a great accomplishment. And, you know,
it's
plan
time to
for
enjoy life. And as we say, l'chaim mazel tov, right? Let's enjoy our lives.
And all of that. But I think it's also very important to recognize that society puts a lot of negative terms
they do.
on
But you're
older
changing
people.
all of that.
We
I wanna
are.
Thank you, guys. I like this book, okay? Over 60 Shades of Grey. Congratulations, Barbara and Carol, okay?
Thank you
Come back
so
again.
much for having
Long life
us.
to everybody.
Thank you.
All right, speaking of numbers, it's all...